Go to the Chester Echoes. Find Kachina. Of course she's worried about him.
Hello, Kachina. Oh, hey. I had some time on my hands, so I decided to bring Io over to check on Milray and Nyan. Don't worry. Everything's gonna be fine.
Has something been in your mind lately?
What makes you ask? Well, you seemed a bit down after the exhibition match, so we're kind of worried about you. Thanks, Traveler and Paimon. I'm okay, really. I mean, it's hard to explain. I've just been feeling a bit lost. Despite losing the pilgrimage so many times, what kept me going was the belief that someday I'd win and earn a spot in the Night Warden Wars. So when I finally did, I was over the moon. I mean, things didn't exactly go as planned, and you and the others had to rescue me from the Night Kingdom. Still, I achieved my dream. But after the happiness wore off, I felt hollow. I didn't know what to aim for next, or what I should work toward. Then the Bloomflower trials came around, and I could fight alongside everyone again. But when the exhibition match ended, I suddenly realized that everyone had real-life responsibilities to return to. Everyone, that is. Except for me. And that got me thinking. Am I the only one who's still like a kid? The only one who's left with so much free time on their hands? Who's never really grown up? So that's what's been bothering you, huh?
It's an important stage in life.
Huh? You mean everyone feels like this at some point? I thought it was just because I hadn't been working hard enough.
Your time searching for what it is waiting to do.
I see. Thank you, Traveler. Huh. If you think about it, this is a good thing. Not knowing what you want means the future's still full of possibilities, right? When Paimon can't decide what she wants for dinner, she gets to imagine all kinds of delicious dishes. But if someone told her, "You're eating this tonight," kinda spoils the anticipation. That actually makes a lot of sense.
Even you have your moments of wisdom, Paimon.
Hey! Stop underestimating Paimon like that, would ya?
Oh, looks like you guys beat me to it. Is the little guy feeling any better?
Granny Lolly! Hello!
Hello. I didn't have much going on at the moment, so I thought I'd check in on our patient.
Milray's been in a deep sleep this whole time. It's just as Aoife said. We'll need to gather all the sacred flame crystals before we can help him.
I imagine you're right. By the way, you haven't run into any trouble lately, have you?
When's your
When
trouble?
we discussed the sacred flame crystals after the exhibition match ended, everyone else looked happy. But you seem to have something on your mind.
That's what it is. For the sake of fingers, what might be dangerous. Did she something without? Hold on. Did she think there was something else on my mind? Or about Kachina, she was worried about me. Let's just be honest with her about the rumor.
A baseless rumor, but a fearful-sounding one all the same. Fear stems from the unknown, so the more cryptic the hearsay, the more panic it spreads.
Wait, are the crystals actually dangerous?
Mawika was right. Even if trouble does come our way, she'll handle it. Still, there must be a story behind the Bloomflower trials being stopped. It is said that something happened the last time they were held. Since you're concerned, why don't we look into it? I'm sure we'll still be able to find scrolls from back then over at the Masters of the Nightwind.
Knowing the truth will put our minds at ease.
Can I come along?
I don't see why not. Come, let's head over to my place. We should leave this little Tapetlasaur to rest.
Medicine born of guilt. This makes me think that this does have a lot to do with Aoife's actual story. I do feel like it is related to him quite a bit. Sometimes I do forget that's an actual door.
I had someone gather up all the woven scrolls from that era. Maybe we'll find some leads we can follow.
There's that many?
That's not that bad.
Oh, this is gonna take forever.
Paimon, we've done worse. Trust. Remember, there have been some other times where we had to read a whole bunch of shit.
Come on. Less whining, more reading. If we split them up, we'll finish in no time.
I imagine this is a case of. I do feel like this is a case of nothing actually was written about it. Thinking this is too bad, we must not let people know of this. And then it just turns out that is not what you should do. You should always tell of the past, because that's how people in the future don't make the same mistakes. That's what the point of history is, but apparently we still keep making the same mistakes.
Why have you stopped? Did you notice something strange?
There's still conflicts between the tribes nowadays.
There will always be tensions. But the intensity has changed. Usually the Pyro Archon tries their best to prevent intertribal disputes from escalating. But not every Archon has done that as well as Malika. Also, given that our Archons live only as long as mortals, the transitional periods can be fraught with challenges.
It makes sense.
Far fewer conflicts have ended in bloodshed over the past few centuries. Whenever I read through these scrolls, I too am always struck by the thought of how unimaginable our lives would seem to people back then.
Hey, come check this out. This one seems to mention the Bloomflower trials.
Oh? Let me see. A curious coincidence indeed. It seems like the last Bloomflower trials were also held to save the life of an ailing Saurian.
Huh? Was it the same illness as Milrace?
The scroll doesn't say, but it seems likely. Strange. It's very unusual for such records to be so sparse on details. The scroll only vaguely alludes to two things. Firstly, that the Bloomflower trials were held to save a sick little Saurian. Secondly, that they seem to have failed. And that the chief of the Flowerfeather clan had a major falling out with his younger brother. And later on, his brother left the tribe and lived as a recluse. That's all it says.
Hi, kitty.
But that basically tells us nothing. You know, except that the person who weaved this scroll must have been slacking off on the job.
Maybe something happened that was too sensitive to record.
Sacred flame crystals having the power to beguile human hearts. Is this where that's from?
Despite coming to the rest of the scrolls, none of you find any further references to the Bloomflower
Looks like
trials.
we'll have to approach this from another angle.
Nothing is too sensitive to record. You must always record the details.
I'll go take a look through some even older scrolls. Surely the trials were held more than once.
Seeing as that scroll just now mentioned the Flowerfeather clan, I think I could go ask Chief Butota. And what's our next move? Any other leads we can follow?
The mysterious Kukasaur the Milroy mentioned might be able to shed some light on this. I have a feeling a certain Kukasaur might know a thing or two.
A certain Kukasaur? Who told you that? Oh, Aoife's assistant Kakuku must have told you, right? I heard he sometimes translates for the other Saurians.
If it's trying to divide from the whole Saurian and dwelling mystery, guess I'll just give Kuku the credit for
Alright
now.
then. I'll look into those ancient scrolls, Kachina can head over to the Flowerfeather clan, and you two can track down that Kukasaur. Let's split up and meet back here later.
I like how they literally none of the characters know that we can do in Saurian and dwelling. They've never seen us do it. I could still another 2 kilometers. Ugh. Now, can you tell me any more about the mysterious Kukasor you mentioned before? Want to make friends with him too? Yeah, that's right. Where can I find him? Tracking him down is no easy task, because he's always off somewhere on his own. One second he'll pop up in front of us, then vanish into thin air the next. It's actually pretty impressive. One time he took us to this absolutely beautiful place with this really, really tall stone gate. There's so many of the Kukasors there. We wouldn't usually trespass on other Saurians' territory, but since he took us there, it was fine. He said that it was his home. Stone gate sounds like it might be to the far of the clan. Does it look like? How will I recognize him? It's really easy to spot. If you see one that looks all light and floaty, that's him. And Phil, you'll know what it is. Oh god, it is talking about Kakuku. Yeah, from Ray. We're both starting to miss him. He did drop by to see us, but there were too many people around for his liking. Sure thing, leave it to me. Okay, now these two are over here.
Feeling hungry? I just picked these from the orchard.
Go on, have some. Taking care of a patient like you are doing is hard work. Don't wear yourself out with worry, okay?
If you need more, there's plenty more where that came from.
Cool. So wish this was Sumeru. Having Nahida but not being able to use her overworld effect is so sad. Oh, there's stuff over here. Kimich and Mulani are here with
So,
members from each of their
everyone got that?
tribes.
They'll never see this coming. We'll catch them totally off guard.
Leave it to us. We'll show them what we're made of.
Mulani, Kinich, what are you doing here?
Oh, Traveler, Paimon, it's you. You nearly scared the life out of me. Just between us, we're discussing our strategy for the next half of the exhibition match. But as for the details, those will have to stay a secret. After all, we'll be competing against you this time.
What about you guys? You seem like you're in a hurry. Has something happened?
We're on the trail of an extremely rare and elusive Kukusor.
Rare and elusive. In that case, we can help with the search. That description of the location's way too vague. The scenery around here is all pretty much the same. Without anyone to help out, it'll take you forever. What does the Kukusor look like?
Light and floaty.
Nothing more specific than that?
Apparently, we'll know who he is the instant we see him.
Well, in that case, let's
It's
split up.
Kakuku.
I'll check the higher ground and see if anyone over at the Flower Feather clan has any ideas.
I'm
I'll
pretty
follow
sure
the
it's
red
Kakuku.
Sounds like it's my time to shine. As Kinich will tell you, I'm a born hunter with the eyes of a hawk.
I haven't got anywhere else to be either. I'll take a stroll nearby and see if I can spot anything.
Awesome, thanks everyone.
Don't mention it. Anyway, we'd better get going. Catch you in a bit.
And I like how they don't really ask why we're doing it. Yeah, I'm pretty certain it's Kakuku. But it might not be. Yo. Our fruit was just now was kind of sour. But this one said it's super sweet. Greetings, fellow Saurians. How can we help? I remember the Kukusor here described as light and floaty. Talk about that kid, are you? I thought it was just distinct traits. Kukusor seemed to have instantly understood who I meant. Someone shows up around here, but he was sneaking about, trying not to be seen. He's often perched up on a cliff, just gazing out on his lonesome, daydreaming about who knows what. Pretty sure I saw him following a human around a couple of days back. He's every day, he usually won't go anywhere near them. So is there anyone to get a hold of him? I'd forget it if I were you. That kid comes and goes like a shadow. Give us some fruit instead. Oh, great, thanks. Very fruitful lead. Guess I'd better fuck off. Fucking fruitful lead while eating fruit. Jesus Christ. Is this up higher? It is. It is up higher. Oh, hi, Kinich.
Anything on your end, Kinich?
Nope.
Me neither. Kukasaurs all look so similar? They all look light and floaty to me. I mean, what could possibly be lighter and floatier than a pair of wings?
I didn't find anything either.
Sorry, Traveler and Paimon. Are you in a hurry to find him? If you need a hand, I can come back and join the search again tomorrow.
Maybe he really is hiding from us. I'll try to think of another way.
If you need any help, don't hesitate to reach out. That's what friends are for, after all.
I've told my friends over at the Flower Feather Clan to keep an eye out. If they see anything, they'll let you know. So, what's your next move?
I think we'll head back to the Masters of
Alright.
Nightwind.
Come to think of it, Auroron could probably rig up a few traps and snag him that way.
It's not like Auroran's traps can catch just anything, you know.
But he did catch Volante.
You never know.
Made him take a nap.
Might as well ask him if we get the chance. Anyway, we'll be heading back now.
Okay then, see you later. And thanks for your help.
Still cannot believe we still have not explained Saurian and Dwelling to a single other character. I don't even know if Mawika knows.
Let me think.
I will.
Katina, Chloe!
We haven't managed to find anything. No one seems to know what actually happened back then. Any luck with your mysterious Kukasaur?
Nope, not yet. Don't think it's planning to make an appearance anytime soon.
In that case, I'd suggest we set this aside for now. It would be great if we could get to the bottom of this, but not every historical mystery can be unraveled. We must also learn to live with the unknown. Just remember, as long as we stick together, no challenge will ever be too great. Yeah, I'm sure everything will work out. Still, after all this investigating, it feels a bit disappointing to come up empty-handed.
Finally, dudes. Found you.
Eva, what brings you here?
Kinich mentioned you were on the lookout for a Kukasaur. Just so happens a strange Kukasaur has been following me the past few days.
Sorry, you
No
said?
clue why, but this dude's been on my tail ever since I got back from the Children of Echoes. Not gonna lie to you, bro, it's kind of freaky. His footsteps are totally silent, and after dark, all you can see is a silhouette. So I didn't even realize he was there until Kakuku suddenly flipped out last night when he went for a drink. His squawking woke me up, and that's when I finally spotted a shadowy shape outside the window.
That sounds terrifying.
I could tell it was a little Kukasaur from the shape. After observing him more closely, I figured out that he'd been following me the whole time, but that he'd just been too quiet to notice. Not sure if that's the dude you're looking for, but if so, you're more than welcome to get him off my back. The sooner the better.
Oh, wait a second.
Yep, dude's probably hiding right behind that tree.
Do you think we should send someone over to take a look?
It's okay, I've got this. What the? How is that even? Guys, get over here, quick! There's nothing scary about this. It's just...
Oh, is this? It's a soul.
Surely that's not...
Just like Io's grandparent, it's a Saurian ghost. No wonder Nine described him as light and floaty. He really is instantly recognizable, not like any Kukasaur I've ever seen. This must be Milray's mysterious friend then, the one spreading the rumors about sacred flame crystals beguiling human hearts.
Wait, shouldn't he have returned to the ley lines? Haven't they been fixed? There are many possible reasons, but right now it seems that our priority is...
So why have you been tailing me, bro? If it's treatment you want, can't do much for you, man. Sorry.
Oh man, it runs away.
Do you think he wants us to follow him? Oh, if only we had a Kukasaurus on hand.
Hey, that's a good point. Where is Kakuku today?
He was so spooked last night that he rattled through every single word he's ever learned and then fainted. He was still out cold when I left.
That's
All right,
funny.
enough chit-chat. Let's just follow him. It looks like he wants to take us somewhere.
Okay, interesting. Okay, do I have to indwell a Saurian? That'd probably make it easier. Saurian ghost is still a Saurian ghost. Still a Saurian. Can't understand it without a indwelling.
Looks like he's finally stopped.
Why have you brought us here?
So, is there something buried here, or what? You want us to dig it up?
So imagine energetic digging, you unearth an old weathered box.
These are woven scrolls, yes. Albeit very crudely made and heavily time-worn as a result. Still, they're just about legible. They seem to document the very last Bloomflower trials that took place centuries ago? But why would these be
Cool.
here? Come, let's read them together. These might just contain the answers we've been searching for this whole time.
So, have you figured out a way to save him?
Indeed, I have. As far as I can tell, we need ocean zephyrs and sacred flame crystals. That's about it.
That's great news. Don't worry, little guy. He'll be better in no time.
Well, it's not every day that the chief himself drops by to check in on your Saurian buddy. Not so busy these days, huh?
You know I'd come even if I was. You're my brother, man. I heard you've been beside yourself since Antu fell ill, so I was worried about you.
I mean, Antu means the world to me. I promised to stay by his side until the day he's fully grown, ready to spread his wings and soar freely through the skies. I mean, with him around, I've never felt lonely traveling through Natlan. Sometimes he's happy, and other times he's sad. Sometimes he has tantrums, but then he'll curl up beside me when I'm down. And right now, he needs me more than ever. I'll draw upon everything I've ever learned to help him get through this.
I salute your courage and wisdom, brother. But these sacred flame crystals you mentioned, are you sure they'll do the job?
Well, I've studied the essence of the sacred flame and read various related scrolls. Sacred flame crystals are born from intertribal conflict. Back when the tribes were somewhat united, they would occasionally hold Bloomflower trials in order to obtain them.
Seems like I've still got lots to learn, despite being chief. So, how can we use them? Is it really worth holding a whole competition just to get our hands on some?
Research on sacred flame crystals has been patchy to say the least, so there's never been a definitive conclusion. What we know for sure is that they can be used to treat certain chronic phlogiston-related illnesses. Others also say that they can be used to enhance a warrior's strength. There's something.
Enhance a warrior's strength.
It's speculative at best. We need to analyze an actual specimen to know for sure. As far as I'm concerned, as long as they can be used to cure Antu's illness, that's enough. Nothing else matters.
So you asked the chiefs of all the tribes to send people to take part in a scaled-down version of the Bloomflower trials? Remarkable that they agreed, given it wasn't so long ago that we were at each other's throats. Tensions are running high right now. If I were you, I wouldn't have had the courage to even ask.
I know, but I had no other choice. Fortunately, I've treated patients from every tribe, so the chiefs agreed as a way of returning the favor. With all this ongoing strife, it's been a long time since we've worked together on anything. This might be a good chance for reconciliation. Fighting side by side for a common cause? That's the way Natlan was always meant to be.
Let's hope so. By the way, what's with all this baggage? Heading out on a long journey or something?
I'm heading out to search for ocean zephyrs. In the meantime, I'll leave the trials in your capable hands. Just please make sure it all goes smoothly.
Come on, that goes without saying. Rest assured, I'm your brother after all.
Thank you. And Antu, be good while I'm gone, okay? Once I return with the ingredients, you'll be back on your feet and running around in no time.
Himara, how could you stoop so low, ambushing us on the field like that? Ambushing? No one but yourself's to blame for underestimating us. So what's all this fuss about?
Even if that was remotely true, your guys went way over the line. 7 of our warriors were so badly injured that they're still out cold as we speak. The Flower Feather clan must compensate us for our losses. Hand over the sacred flame crystals.
And what will we'll hand him over after all that? Just because you waggled some fingers and said some angry words?
Didn't you claim that we're holding these trials to save a Sixarian? Take what's necessary for the treatment, then return us the rest.
Say something, Amara. We're not leaving until you give us some answers.
If the other elders were here, they wouldn't waste their time on such puerile questions. If anything, I just wish we'd managed to collect more crystals. There are always people who think they're so clever. So many contestants were just pocketing the ones they got in the trials. I'll bet your chiefs all have sweet little personal stashes too, huh? Everyone was in a frenzy, snatching the crystals up wherever and whenever they could. We're hardly the only winners. I wouldn't even call us the biggest ones.
You what?
I get it now. Snatching the spoils while using the Bloomflower trials to weaken the other tribes. You planned this all along. Ugh, that Nampol. Can't believe I trusted him.
The Children of Echoes will
One of
not
the,
forget this. Let's go.
things they added in season 2 is making the male as bigger. Okay.
Brother, where's Antu?
Oh, you're back. Come, sit down. I'll explain everything.
No need for that. I only came back to ask. Are the rumors true?
Rumors?
That the Bloomflower trials spiraled into an all-out bloodbath, sparking a heated dispute among the chiefs, and that no one was bothered in the slightest about Antu. By the time anyone noticed, he was already gone. How could you lie to me, Amara? You promised you'd make sure the Bloomflower trials went smoothly. Why would you resort to such underhanded tactics?
You think I had a choice? As soon as one person broke the rules, the whole thing became a free-for-all. Playing by the rules gets you nowhere in this world. If I hadn't taken things into my own hands, another tribe would have just swooped in and seized the winnings for themselves. These sacred flame crystals, they have limitless potential. I, for one, wouldn't miss a chance to strengthen our tribe.
I won't debate ethics with you. Where are the sacred flame crystals? Give me some. I'm going to search for Antu.
I've put them all into our research.
You did what?
I did set some aside for Antu in the beginning, but he ran off, didn't he? So there was no longer any need. He's your companion, yes, but the life of a single Saurian is nothing compared to the future of our tribe.
Hear, hear. You've certainly proven yourself a worthy chief, Imara. Your name will no doubt be etched into the hearts of the Flower Feather clan for generations to come. Just remember this. No excuses can hide the harm your greed has inflicted. All the hope and trust that that little guy placed in you, placed in me, you'll never know what that feels like.
Wait, Nampol! Where are you going?
Antu! Antu! Antu, it's me! Please, answer me. Antu, are you okay? Look at you out here all on your own. I'm so sorry, Antu. This is all my fault. After that, I left the Flower Feather clan and lived here in this hill with Antu, who's running out of time. I took him from tribe to tribe, begging them to spare some sacred flame crystals, our last hope. But no one believed me anymore. I begged them again and again, enduring sneers, insults, even beatings, until finally, Antu's time came. In those last few days, he seemed consumed by an overwhelming sorrow. And then I realized it wasn't just the sickness weighing him down, no. Remorse filled his gaze. I remember once, over at the Children of Echoes, someone approached us with a sacred flame crystal, flaunting it before quickly putting it away.
Ah, this is what you're after, is it? Dream on. Go beg your brother for some. How many did he snatch up for himself? He's the one who put you up to this whole I'm a victim charade, wasn't he? I don't buy it. What are you? You little vulture!
For some reason, Antu harbored a deep and intense hatred for the sacred flame crystals. Whenever he saw one, he would muster up every last ounce of his dwindling strength in trying to destroy it. It wasn't until years after Antu's death that I finally guessed at the truth. He must have witnessed people fighting over the crystals without comprehending why, unable to fathom how those once cheerful humans had turned from best of friends to worst of enemies. He concluded that they must have been corrupted by the sacred flame crystals themselves. In Antu's eyes, the only reason they'd started collecting sacred flame crystals in the first place had been to save his life. If I hadn't been there, none of this would have ever happened. He carried this guilt with him until the very end. I too shall be bound by guilt for the rest of my days. If only I had taken part in the trials myself. If only I'd seen the greed in Amara's eyes, or even came back just a little bit sooner. But the past cannot be undone. I have immersed myself in the study of medicine and spent my life healing all kinds of sore wounds. Buried Antu here on this hill, where I too one day shall rest. Before my own time comes, I have recorded all of this on these crudely woven scrolls in the belief that the truth should not lie buried. May those who come long after us learn from our errors, lest they repeat them. May the Natlan of their day be united as one, free once and for all from bloodshed and strife.
Medicine born of guilt. So the non-pole from the scrolls was Aoife's ancestor? And that little Kukusor spirit was once his saurian companion?
Seems so. That's why he's been following you around, Aoife. Even though he doesn't like appearing in front of anyone else, he senses something familiar in you. No wonder there weren't any records of the last Bloomflower trials. If anything corrupts the human heart, it's greed. And who'd want to immortalize the memory of a scandal by which all 6 tribes were tainted? The bitter irony is that the sacred flame crystals turned out to be nowhere near as miraculous as they believed. All that scheming, after what proved to be nothing more than a hollow fantasy.
Hey, where's that little Kukusor going? Look, over there! Do you think he's sad? Or maybe he's lost in his memories?
Go hang out with him for a bit.
I might need a breather over here. I regret lingering for centuries, unfolding like this before my eyes. Can't believe I'm just now hearing my ancestor's story. Now I know why we became vets too. I gotta think this through. What should I do? What can I even do?
Oh yeah, you had that, yeah. Oh, hi Caleb. This so far has been a very interesting event story. It's always gonna end up sad every time. Always some angst with it. I want one of these stories to appear and then have like 0 angst or anything. Like people are just expecting it to come out and then nothing happens. Aren't you the blonde guy from just now? Is your real form? You turn yourself into a human? That's amazing. Can you teach me how to do it? I want to talk to humans. So remember what happened back then? Only bits and pieces. I remember being in a lot of pain. I remember how worried my good friend Nampole was. Afterwards, the pain stopped, and my body felt so light, but I couldn't find him anymore. I hid and searched, and searched without end. My body kept getting colder and colder, like I was freezing to death. Luckily, I found a nice, cozy cave where I held it up and slept for ages. When I woke back up again, the world seemed completely different. The cave? Yeah, there were all these strange patterns on the wall. Some of them even looked a bit like me. And the remnants of the secret source? It's the closest place to the Night Kingdom. Maybe his soul wasn't faded away yet, because he was hibernating there. When I came out of the cave, I saw that those evil monsters had returned, so I went to help. That's how I met Milray and Diane. 2 of us had them running in circles. Once I'd shown my friends the way, those monsters didn't stand a chance of catching them. Eventually those monsters all disappeared, and then I faintly heard the sound of Nample's voice, calling out for me to come to him. Monsters disappeared. This must have been after the final battle against the Abyss. The Alliance had been restored, so at this point he could have returned to the Night Kingdom. But you didn't go to him? I wanted to, but then Milroy came down with the same illness I had, and I was so worried for him. The impulse to the sacred flame crystals were required for the cure, but those crystals are evil. As soon as they got their hands on them, even the closest of friends would get into the most vicious arguments. Everyone started acting so strangely, like they'd all been bewitched. Think all this is caused by the sacred flame crystals? What else could it have been? They were all such good friends before, and they used to care about me too. It's all because those evil crystals, which I could cast every last one of them into a volcano. We need them to cure Milray, which I do. And you misunderstood the real cause of the strife. It wasn't the power of flame crystals to bewitch human hearts, but rather human greed and scheming. What could you do for now, this poor little creature? Should I tell him the truth? From your standpoint, would knowing the truth make any difference? Let's head back to where the others are. Just tell him. Listen, I don't know what to tell him. The times have changed, and so have the people. He's the only one still trapped in the past. I would just tell him the straight and honest truth. Even if it may hurt to hear it, the truth is always better than a lie. Always better to live in the painful truth than live in a ignorant lie.
Never thought I'd have the chance to meet my ancestor, Saurian companion. It's a pretty cool feeling. Wouldn't you say so, bro?
Can he understand what you're saying?
Kinda. I can pick up on Antu's vibes, just like he catches ours, but that's pretty much it. That's just how it is with Saurian companions. You have to spend a lot of time together to develop an intuitive bond. If my ancestor were here, I'm sure they'd vibe way easier.
In other words, he wouldn't understand even if we discussed everything that went on back then in front of him, right? I'm not even sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
I think it's probably better if he doesn't understand. I know that running from your problems isn't the way to solve them, and that we should face up to the challenges in our lives. But even if we told him the truth, wouldn't it only distress him more than he already is?
That's right. The people responsible, the ones who should have apologized to him, are no longer around. All the truth would do is tear open old wounds and sadden him all over again.
Isn't there anything we could do to help him forget his sorrow and find hope once more?
Just like Nampol, I've spent a lot of time studying Saurian psychology. They can be a bit slow sometimes, but they're razor sharp at others. They don't get complex human language, but they get a lot just from reading our eyes. In short, young Saurians are just like children. On one hand, they rely on their human companions. On the other, they really want to prove their worth. Helping people makes them happy, and feeling like a burden makes them sad. So, the best move isn't to get stuck on the truth of what happens, but to help make his current wishes come true.
His wishes?
For example, Antu, you decided to stay here because of Milray and Nyan, right? You're a smart kid. Sacred flame crystals are bad, bad things that cause endless arguments among good friends. But now, after hundreds of years, we finally found a way to beat them. Will you join forces with us to cleanse the evil inside them so we can save your buddy together?
Interesting approach. You want to turn a lie into the truth, huh?
Be sure he understood you.
I didn't really understand either. Is there really some kind of evil power inside the sacred flame crystals?
Oh, dear child. Come on, let Granny explain it to you.
She's like, I still don't actually understand.
Now? Okay, I'll do my best.
Not so fast. Hate to break it to you, but the three of us can't make this happen. Let's meet up at the stadium in 2 days. We'll spread the word and see who's willing to play along. As for making Antu understand, Kakuku can help out. They'll have an easier time communicating.
I mean, again, I can do that. Why don't we just say we can do something called Saurian Indwelling? That's like, the thing is, you can't just like, I guess the problem is they don't want to have you explain in this quest, because this is a limited time quest. But they should have just explained it at some point in the main quest. You literally can't do any of the Natlan quest without experiencing that quest. Without experiencing the Saurian Indwelling tutorial and everything, because it's the main part of Natlan exploration. Like, the moment you pass, like, I think it's, like, right here, because I think this thing is, like, right here. Once you got to, like, right here, it just forces you in, which is why they have this bottleneck here. But, I mean, even if you have the bottleneck, it doesn't matter. And I know this because on my friend's account, I needed to do, I think, this one. And so I teleported near it. The problem was, even though I teleported to one of these teleports somewhere, but once you teleport there, if you're anywhere within Natlin, it will instantly start the new quest, or the world quest, which is really annoying. And the only way to leave is, I kid you not, dying. To leave that quest when you're in that area, because it forces you to not be able to teleport, you have to die. You have to go up to the big dogs, and you have to literally die. Anyway, if we just explain that, everything would be so much simpler. There's a lot of things in this game, honestly, though, to be fair, the player character knows that other characters don't. That would make it so much easier. Like, what a Descender is, a bunch of the stuff with us learning powers, the fact that we can use multiple elements at the same time. I don't like how you can't bunny hop with this model. I'm trying to think of some of the other stuff that we know. Plus, I don't think it's a bad thing explaining as well some of the stuff, like, people have been deleted. We know of 2 things that have been deleted from the Irminsul, and explaining it doesn't cause issues, but, I mean, we just haven't bothered to explain either thing. Greater Lord Rukkhadevata, as well as the original Balladeer, no longer exist. And no one else besides a select few know of either. I'm pretty sure the Traveler is the only person who knows about Greater Lord Rukkhadevata, as well as any other Descenders who also happen to have already known about her beforehand. And then there's also Balladeer is known by us, it's Traveler, Paimon, Kusanali, and I'm pretty sure. Thing is, I can't remember. I think someone in the Fatui is a Descender. I just don't remember who. It might be Pierre.